Students, this is one more topic, that is respiratory quotient from physiology. Let us see what is respiratory quotient, why it is termed like this. So, what is respiratory quotient? It is abbreviated as RQ. It is a measurement used to access the ratio of carbon dioxide produced to oxygen consumed during metabolism. That means when a human consume uh, when they access the oxygen, what is the amount of carbon dioxide is produced. Okay, when the humans consume the oxygen, what is the carbon dioxide produced? That ratio is called as the respiratory quotient. So it provides insights into the type of fuel being metabolized by the body. So this respiratory quotient values can be varied depending upon the type of macronutrients being metabolized. Here if you can see respiratory quotient, so if you see the calculation here, first we will see the respiratory quotient is a ratio and therefore has no units actually for it. So if you see RQ is equals to volume of carbon dioxide produced by volume of oxygen consumed per unit time. So the respiratory quotient is valuable measurement as it provides us with information regarding the nature of the substrate being used by an organism for respiration. What type of nature of the substance. So if you see here, in this reaction 6 carbon dioxide molecules are produced and 6 oxygen molecules are consumed. So the respiratory quotient for this reaction is 6 carbon dioxide by 6 oxygen is equals to 1. So this is the value. So let us see for the next slide. So what is the calculation of respiratory quotient? So RQ can be calculated by dividing the volume of carbon dioxide produced by the volume of oxygen consumed. So different macronutrients such as carbohydrates, fats and proteins have distinct RQ values depending upon it. Okay. So next, RQ values for different macronutrients we'll see. Carbohydrates have a respiratory quotient value close to 1.0 as they are primarily metabolized through aerobic respiration only. So carbohydrates includes these food products. So fats have an RQ value around 0.7 indicating higher proportion of oxygen. Here you can see, and consumption is compared to the carbon dioxide produced. And proteins have variable RQ values depending on the specific amino acids being metabolized. That means what is the amino acid by a particular individual is being metabolized, this RQ value will be depending. Next, use of respiratory quotient in metabolic studies, how it is being used actually. So RQ is commonly used in metabolic studies to determine the metabolic pathway being utilized by the particular individual body. So it can help certain researchers to understand the energy expenditure or the metabolic efficiency of the particular individual. So RQ can also be used to access metabolic adaptations in response to different dietary interventions and exercise regimens. That means different diets also varies by depends upon the RQ. People taking different diets or different exercises or any other things. So what are the different clinical applications of respiratory quotient? So clinical applications, you can see respiratory quotient can be used to access metabolic disorders such as diabetes and obesity also can be accessed. And abnormal respiratory values may indicate inefficient substrate utilization, impaired metabolic function. So someone this respiratory quotient values are very important to find out if any abnormal values are there or any metabolic disorders are there, such as diabetics or obesity or any other conditions. Next we will see what are the different factors which influence respiratory quotient. So respiratory quotient values can be influenced by factors such as exercise intensity, diet composition, metabolic rate. High intensity exercises may result in the higher respiratory quotient due to increased carbohydrates for energy. And also sometimes the changes in diet such as high fat or low carbohydrates diet can also impact respiratory quotient values. So if you see practical considerations for measuring any respiratory quotient, so practically if you see respiratory quotient can be measured using indirect calorimetry, which involves analyzing respiratory gases exhaled by an individual, and also commonly used is like portable metabolic carts and gas analyzers are used to measure oxygen consumption and carbon dioxide production. Next, limitations of respiratory quotient values. That means it provides, actually this respiratory quotient values provides insights of all the metabolic process and how much limitations they have. Respiratory quotient does not account for non-respiratory carbon dioxide production such as form bicarbonate buffering and all. Next, researchers are going on to explore the potential application of respiratory quotient in the field of medicine and any personalized nutrition to target the and enhance the metabolic activities or the efficiency of a particular metabolic functions in their body. So finally, we can conclude this respiratory quotient as a valuable tool for accessing metabolic processes and substrate utilization in the body. So it is a very valuable tool. So someone who is able to understand its respiratory values, quotient values, can provide any like they can know what is the energy metabolism, dietary effects and metabolic health. Further research and advancements are also going on for measurement techniques. Here you can see glucose it is 1, fatty acid it is 0.7, protein it is 0.9. So this is about respiratory quotient, and please go through this and make a note of it.